Yo, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, welcome. I just came on here real quick just to talk about why I think that the Warriors are wasting Stephen Curry's talent. The Warriors are just that's the best way to possibly put it. They're wasting his talent, you know what I'm saying? As you all know, free agency in the NBA is going on. It's coming to an end, and the Warriors have made zero additions to their team. You know what I'm saying? All the movement that's been going on in the league, with Bron going to Philly, with Kawhi going to Toronto. We'll see if that happens because there's still some things to work out. But with Kawhi going to the Raptors, with many other moves coming in the future, but the Warriors so far have made zero. You know what I'm saying? Zero trades, zero signings. The only thing I think that they did was re-sign Draymond Green and Al Horford. You know what I'm saying? And it would be different if the Warriors were, you know what I'm saying, a top team last season, and, you know what I'm saying, they just wanted to run it back to see if they really have something to work with. But no, you know what I'm saying, they missed the playoffs last season. And not only that, but you know what I'm saying, they struggled throughout the regular season last season. It wasn't, a major injury. Well, Jimmy Butler did get injured, which hindered, you know what I'm saying, which hindered their team from being at their best. But at the same time, it's like, okay, what now? You know what I'm saying? Because we can't sit here and be complacent because of Jimmy Butler's injury. You know what I'm saying? We still have, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest players to ever play the game, and Steph, you know, still in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Looking like he's not going to slow down anytime soon. But the only thing that is going to stop him is the age. You know what I'm saying? Because it is coming up on that time where we may be talking about retirement. You know what I'm saying? And so far, the Warriors have did Steph Curry dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they're treating it. And then, you know what I'm saying, there's reports coming out that they're starting to move on to the post-Steph Curry era. But even then, you know what I'm saying, there hasn't been any moves to move in that direction either. You know what I'm saying? You let Jonathan Kuminga go. You know what I'm saying? Your team is old. You know, one thing I will say is that you did draft Yaxel Lenenborg, you know what I'm saying, to help the team. But you don't even have the team figured out now. So what makes you think that you're going to have the team figured out, you know what I'm saying, post Steph Curry? You know what I'm saying? You have one of the best players in the NBA on your team right now and can't figure it out. So what makes you think he's going to retire and, you know what I'm saying, you're just going to have something to build with? Or you're going to be left even worse without him. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be even worse. You're going to set yourself back even more years. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how long Steph Curry wants to play. They're treating them as if they don't have, that they're going to get another Steph Curry, as if they're going to get another great shooter or the greatest shooter ever to play the game again. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can make, 3 points, the new 2. You know what I'm saying? The new mid-range shot, the new layup. And yes, you do have money tied up in Draymond Green. You do have things that may not be going your way. But at the same time, I feel like this should be the point where you're taking risks. That if it doesn't work out, then it may set your team back even more. You know what I'm saying? But I think regardless, your team's going to be set back even more. Because if Curry ends up retiring, you know what I'm saying, you're going to at least be 4 or 5 years behind from being a contender again. Unless you get a major star to Golden State after that. You know what I'm saying? Which I think it may take a couple years for that to happen. Because you're going to have some things to figure out. Because right now, the team is centered around Steph Curry. All the pieces that you have on your team are constructed to play with Steph Curry. So I'm kind of confused. What is this post, Curry type of team going to look like? If every player that you have is centered towards him. You know what I'm saying? You don't even really have another guard on the team besides Steph Curry that can really score the ball efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Every other, player that you have on your team are utility players. Hold on. That was a mouthful. Utility players. You know what I'm saying? Players that just do a little bit of everything, can defend, can, run in transition, can, just just a little bit of everything, the dirty work type of player. You know what I'm saying? Those, besides Steph Curry, those the only type of players you have. Even when Jimmy Butler comes back, it may take him a little while to get into his rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Given that he's 33, 34, when he's getting up there in age, and it's getting close to, you know what I'm saying, talking about retirement with him. So it's not even a guarantee that, you know what I'm saying, Jimmy Butler's going to come back the same, close to the type of player that he was before. You know what I'm saying, leading the Heat to the finals and whatnot. So I'm just kind of confused as to what is the goal with the Warriors right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't be winning basketball. And honestly, you really can't even say that it's trying to build the talent on the roster. Because ever since, you know, when the dynasty was just starting, you know what I'm saying, they weren't even developing talent then because your focus was on Steph, Clay, and Draymond. You know what I'm saying? And KD at the time. And then once that started to come towards the end, you still wasn't able to develop talent because you were still trying to develop a team around Steph Curry rather than focusing on talent and letting, you know what I'm saying, that talent develop into the system. You know what I'm saying? Rather than drafting players that were system ready, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Rather than having development or investing in development, you was already trying to get players that could instantly make an impact, you know? And the thing about those players is they come and go. You know what I'm saying? The league continues to grow, and as the star player, you know, as the star player reaches the end of his career, you really have nothing to work with. You know what I'm saying? Because that player is the system, basically. Steph Curry is the system. He's the one that established the culture for the Warriors. And, you know, I'm just confused. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying that because it's just confusing to me. You want to build a team after Steph Curry, but you also want to continue to capitalize off Steph Curry's, you know, success. You know, but it's just not mixing. You know what I'm saying? Al Horford, Draymond Green, being your next two best players ain't gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to cut it in any universe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if this was 2014, you can get away with that. But it's just not going to cut it in the Big 26 at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see what the Warriors do. You know what I'm saying? If they decide to just blow everything up, trade Draymond, trade everybody but Steph Curry, or are they just going to continue to ride it out? Curry retires as a Warrior, and you know what I'm saying, that's all she wrote. It's just the fact that they're wasting valuable years with Steph Curry. You're not going to get another player like Steph Curry ever again in your franchise. Like somebody that's really been able to change the game forever. The game of basketball as we know it today wouldn't be the game of basketball as we know it today without Steph Curry. That's pretty much all I got for this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do those 3 things for me. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Did you do it?